All right, let's talk about a molecule that's, well, pretty much everywhere. It's in the butter you put on your toast, and it's literally in the cells that make up your brain. We're talking about lipids. And trust me, they are so much more than just fats. So, let's get into it.
To kick things off, just think about this. It's something you see in your kitchen all the time. How come you can spread butter, but you have to pour olive oil? I mean, they're both lipids, they're both fats. So what's the deal?
Well, the secret, like it so often is hiding down at the molecular level. Yeah, the whole mystery of why butter is solid and oil is liquid, it all comes down to the chemistry, to the actual shape of the molecules that build them.
So what even is a lipid? Well, officially, it's a whole group of molecules, fats, oils, waxes, that all share one key property. They hate water. They are insoluble in it. That's exactly why oil and vinegar always separate in your salad dressing. This water-repelling nature, this is the key to understanding everything they do.
And why should we care?
Oh, because lipids are absolutely critical for life. They're an incredibly powerful fuel source for our bodies. They're how we store energy for the long haul. They literally build the walls of every single cell we have. They keep us warm, and they even help our cells talk to each other. So you see, they're definitely not the bad guy here. They are vital.
Okay, so to really get a handle on them, it helps to sort them into three main families. You've got your simple lipids, your complex lipids, and then the derived lipids. Let's go through them one by one.
First up, we've got the simple lipids. These guys are the most basic, made from just two main parts, something called fatty acids and an alcohol. And hey, look who it is, our friends, fats and oils, right here. The only real difference is whether they're solid or liquid when you leave them on the counter. Waxes, like what you'd find on a leaf or in a beehive, they belong to this family too.
Next up, the complex lipids. And yeah, the name kind of gives it away. They've got a little something extra bolted on. In addition to the fatty acids and alcohol, there's another group attached, maybe a phosphate or a sugar. And that extra piece gives them really specialized jobs. For instance, phospholipids are the main building blocks of our cell membranes. And lipoproteins? Think of them as the taxi service that carries fats around in our blood.
And finally, our third family, the derived lipids. Now these are a bit different. They aren't really built from scratch in the same way. Instead, think of them as the breakdown products, or even the building blocks from the other two families. This group includes the fatty acids themselves and some really heavy hitters, like steroids, including cholesterol, which is the starting point for making some of our most important hormones.
Okay, so we've met the families. Now let's circle back to our big question from the beginning. It's time to zoom way in on that fatty acid molecule, because that is where we're going to find the answer to the whole butter versus oil mystery.
So what is a fatty acid? At its heart, it's just a long chain of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Just picture a long tail. And the specific shape and structure of this tail is what ends up deciding almost everything about the lipid it's a part of.
And boom, here it is. This is the answer. It all comes down to whether that fatty acid chain is straight or bent. See, in saturated fats, there are no double bonds. That makes the chain perfectly straight, and these straight chains can pack together really, really tightly, kind of like a neat stack of bricks. That tight packing is what makes them solid. That's your butter. But unsaturated fats have one or more double bonds, and that bond creates a kink, a bend in the chain. These bent molecules just can't stack together neatly. They're all jumbled up, which leaves a lot of space between them, and that's what makes them liquid. That's your olive oil. So remember, straight chains pack tight to make solids. Bent chains stay loose and make liquids. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've cracked the code on butter versus oil. It's all about molecular shape. But that shape doesn't just decide if a fat is solid or liquid. Oh no, it has a massive impact on our health. So let's talk about how our bodies actually move and use these different kinds of lipids.
Some of those unsaturated fats, specifically the ones with multiple bends in their chains, like omega-3 and omega-6, they're called essential. And that's not just a fancy word. It literally means our bodies cannot make them. There's no backup plan. We have to, absolutely have to, get them from the food we eat, from things like fish, nuts, and seeds.
And if you don't get enough of them, well, the consequences are pretty serious. A deficiency can show up in ways you can see, like scaly skin or even hair loss. It can mess with really fundamental processes, leading to slow wound healing, and in kids, it can even stunt their growth. And it can cause major problems deeper inside, with your kidneys and liver. So this is not about some diet fad, it's about giving your body the fundamental parts it needs to just keep itself running.
All right, here's another puzzle for you. We've established that lipids and water don't mix.
But our blood is mostly water. So how in the world does your body get the fat from your lunch to a cell in your big toe? It can't just dump oil into your bloodstream, right? The solution is a really clever transport service called lipoproteins.
Lipoproteins are basically little transport bubbles. They tuck the lipids safely on the inside, with proteins on the outside that can mix with the water in your blood. And you've probably heard their nicknames. HDL is called the good cholesterol because it's the cleanup crew. It picks up extra cholesterol from around your body and takes it to the liver to be thrown out. LDL gets called the bad cholesterol because it's the delivery service. It drops cholesterol off where it's needed. Too many delivery trucks cruising around can cause traffic jams or buildups. The other two, VLDL and chylomicrons, they're mainly busy hauling around another type of lipid, triglycerides.
So when you boil it all down, lipids are not simple. They're not just good or bad. They are the architects of our cells, they are an amazing fuel source, they're the starting point for powerful hormones, but they're also a huge factor in many modern diseases. The type of lipid, that straight saturated chain or that bent unsaturated one, it really, truly matters. So the question that leaves us with is, knowing all of this, how will you think about this vital, complex molecule in your own life?